right. Seattle. I
What's
just
up
saw
with you, bro?
Seattle. What's up?
What's up with you?
You got your camera on.
Oh, my fault.
Yes.
Hey, Justin. Hold on, y'all. Justin's supposed to be on here, and I don't see him. Geronimo. Okay, yeah, hold on. Where's Josiah? Justin, get on the call. Hey, what you doing? All right. What's up, GQ? I ain't seen you in the workouts, man. How you been, man?
Good.
What? Are you saying something? GQ. What's up, man?
Nothing much.
I could barely hear you, man. Are you saying something? You all right? What you watching? Yo, he in the zone.
You running that 2K, bro.
He must be playing video games. He is locked in. GQ. He's terrible. All right. All right. So we'll get. Let me. There go Justin. I'm gonna see where Josiah at, and Josiah. Okay. Let me just send him this joint real quick. Where my meetings at? Hold on, where my meetings at? Everybody good? We officially in summer now. Everybody doing all right? There you go.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I wanted to first talk to y'all about kind of what we talked about last week. We talked about last week was, the steps for improvement. Anybody remember that? Y'all remember that, what we talked about? No? Okay. So 4 steps.
No, I got it wrote down.
Yeah, I remember you came late, so yeah, okay. So you should have them. So the 4 steps: self-awareness, or like assessing where you are, deliberate practice, making it a habit, and then repeat those 3, right? So what? So I want to focus real quick the first half of the call tonight. Just really focus on the first step, right? Self-awareness. We talked a little bit about it last week, where it's really about being honest with yourself, right? Being honest and asking yourself questions, right? But it's also important that you create an environment for that. So it's hard to really assess yourself in the middle of something else, right? And so a lot of times, I know for me, I take time, I take time on Sundays to just reflect, right? And maybe it's reflecting over the past week. It could have been the past couple of days. It could have been the past month. It could have been the past 6 months. But looking backwards to make sure I understand where I'm going forward, okay? So
No.
the importance of, I can't underestimate or overestimate the importance of reflecting, right? Taking time to reflect, right? And so y'all come up in a time where you're like super busy, right? You always got something to do. It's important that like you find some time within all, think about like between your athletics, academics, trying to maintain a social life. Like you don't really have time for yourself. You just kind of just always going. So the practice of self-reflection is important, right? But you got to be intentional about it. You got to be like, all right, you know what? I need to just take this time, and it don't take a lot of time, but you got to be consistent with it. So, like I said, every Sunday for me, every Sunday at 7:00, matter of fact, I'm sitting down. I'm just kind of in my own zone, right? Because I'm trying to make sure that I'm reaching for those goals that I have set for myself, right? So you can take the same practice. Set time aside to visualize and reflect. All right. So while you're doing that, you're thinking about, you're asking yourself questions, and you may be writing, but you're asking yourself like, okay, what do I do well? GQ. He's still looking up at that thing. What you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you hear me? Do you hear me, GQ? You hear me? Dang, you addicted. Goodness. Anyway, so what do you do well, right? What do you do well? Asking yourself that. What do you not do so well, right? Like, what are the things that you don't do so well? And then of those things that you do well and the things that you don't do well, like, what do you want to improve? And so when we talk about improvement, people usually think about, okay, I want to improve something that I don't do well. But it can be both, right? It can definitely be that, but it can also be something that you do well, but you want to do better. Would y'all agree with that? Right? It's not only the things that you don't do well. You want to do things you may see like, you know what, I do this pretty good. Like, I don't know, pick something. And the fact that you do it well doesn't mean you can't improve at it. Okay. And then once you decide whatever, what you want to improve in, think about it. Can you actually do it? Right? Say I want to be a knockdown 3-point shooter, right? Do you have the time? Do you have the resources? Do you have the ability to actually achieve that goal in the near term, like within the next month or two? Or is it a situation where it's like, yeah, I want to be a knockdown 3-point shooter, but it's going to take me longer, right? It's going to take me to the end of the year, or maybe, a year to get where I want to be, right? And so you have to ask yourself those questions and really take the time and figure out, what it is. And the other thing I would say about as far as self-awareness and being as a part of improvement, well, actually two things. Don't compare yourself to anybody, right? Compare yourself to who you are, right? Compare yourself to yourself, right? That's one. The other thing is, like, don't limit yourself, right? Don't limit yourself. You want to be honest, and you have to recognize your limitations and work within them, right? But don't put limitations on yourself, okay? So really, don't put limitations on yourself, and then just, really be honest about what you can do right now. All right. Any questions about self-awareness? Do any of y'all reflect right now? Like, work on, like, literally reflect? No? Yeah, I don't take time to reflect like how you did. So think about it like this. Your report card is a reflection of what you did in the past. You understand that? Because your report card isn't what you're going to do in the future, it's what you've done in the past, right? So that's a great time to think about what you've done over the past, I don't know, how long are y'all quarters? 3 months, 2 months, whatever it is. Think about that, right? So that's a great opportunity. Any questions about reflection, about, as far as improvement? Have any of y'all started to do things to help you improve?
So far, yeah.
Like what? Who was
You
that?
said so far?
Yeah.
Like, when, so say you start off with the first workouts for this week, I was struggling with them. So after, I like to the replay the audio clip of what you do, so I try to get better at it.
Okay.
So the
Good.
next time I'm not struggling.
Right. Right. That's smart. That's smart. And if y'all didn't know, I do put the workouts, the actual video of the workouts um, on YouTube. So I usually take a month at a time. So we're just about to finish up June. So those will be out probably. I started putting some of June out there already, but those will be out there by the end of next week. Anybody else? Anybody else doing something to improve their some aspect either of their game, academically? You guys should be reading over the summer, maybe doing some math. You know, try to get better. Like get better at that. What you doing, Jacob? You shaking
Like
your head.
when I have a workout with like my other trainer, if I do bad
Okay.
one practice, my dad records my workout. So if I do bad, like I might could do dribbling and shooting. So I might go back outside and just like do the dribble moves again, and then like next time I go back out, I do it good. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it.
Nice. Anybody else? No. All right. So next week we'll talk more. Actually, so that leads into next week. Next week, we'll be trying to work on putting together a scrimmage, and it's just going to be amongst y'all and some members of Coach Carter's team, right? So we shouldn't have any more than 15, 17, maybe 20. 20 is probably going to be the max number of actual players. So we're going to try to do that next week. More details in terms of time and location, that'll come out next week. All right. So we're thinking about, how at the end of practice we would scrimmage. We do like 6-minute games. So we might do like 10-minute games, 5 on, 5 off, depending on how many people out there. If we can do 10 on, 10 off, kind of do it like that. Some of the important things that we're going to be doing is to make sure, like, if you're on the sidelines and not playing, you're going to have to be socially distanced, right? You're going to have to be separated from each other. You can't be like on the bench in the gym. You can't be sitting right next to each other. You got to respect that 6-foot social distance. All right. You're going to definitely refrain from touching each other, right? And I know y'all like to give daps and stuff like that, but what I've been doing is hit the elbow, right? If you are going to do something like that, you have to just elbow it like that. But really, we actually just like maybe a head nod or something, but like try to stay away from touching each other. And we'll have hand sanitizer. So in between games, we're going to require that you sanitize your hands. Will not be any sharing of towels, water bottles, any of that. We'll have water out there. If you do bring your own water bottle, make sure you keep it with you, keep it close to you. No sharing. And then the other thing, and really important, is going to be the format. So it's going to be like an all-star game format. I don't know if y'all ever played in an all-star game, but it's really not much defense. It's low to no defense. All right. So we're not typically in a real practice environment, and when we're trying to really get better, it will be, like bone up, strap up, right? But in this situation, we're not going to be doing that. Like we're not even going to be like normally we like ref the games. The coaches like kind of ref the game. We're not even really going to be doing that. All right. We're going to just make sure, keep the flow of the games going. We're going to make sure we keep an eye on the time and the score, so it won't be any disputes. And that's pretty much it, right? We will, like I said, we'll have hand sanitizer on site. We'll have the sanitary wipes or the wet ones. We'll have disposable water bottles for y'all, the little shorties, so y'all can drink them and just throw them right in the trash. No need to be like leaving them around. And the other thing we're trying to do, we're trying to work on getting basketballs out there so that we can wipe like a real outdoor ball, so we can wipe them off in between games and stuff like that. All right. Any questions? Any questions about it?
No.
No coach.
You got any questions? I see you real attentive on that. You just paying attention to everything I was talking about then. You got questions?
What day would it be? Or you don't know yet?
Next Friday. We're looking at next Friday. And so for right now, I think if your parents ask you, and I'm going to send, the information to your parents as well, but it'll probably be around this time. Like around the time that we normally do our call, that's probably when we'll do it. All right. We haven't decided. We're playing with a couple of different locations outside, but so I don't have official information on that just yet. But as soon as we get, so me, Coach Carter, Coach Shimizu, we all been kind of working together, trying to coordinate this. And the most important thing is you guys' safety. So we don't want to do anything that will put you guys in jeopardy, getting you guys exposed to anything like that. And so if your parents are like, no, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. We just wanted to get you guys out because you guys have been showing a lot of consistency in terms of just, doing the virtual workouts. We want to just get y'all in person one time to kind of, see each other in person and, have a good time, even though we're going through this pandemic time. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that we're working on is like our virtual practice, but we do it live, right? We do it live. So that's easier to manage in terms of safety because you can do your workouts with social distancing, right? And even like a lot of schools, I know McNamara is actually doing virtual workouts and they're working on some live stuff. I know Justin School Pilates, their football players are doing some live stuff now. The order just came in from the governor that, training is one coach for every 9 students or 9 athletes. So we can accommodate that. But so that's the other thing. This is not a church sponsored thing. This is not the Dynamic Disciples per se, right? This is us as coaches and as men trying to bring y'all together. So this is not really something that it's not officially a part of the Dynamic Disciples program. All right, even though all of y'all play for the team. Okay. So if you're confused about that, I can talk to you about that offline, but that's more on the politics side. All right. Any questions?
No coach.
Any concerns? Nope.
No coach.
So Josh, I know your dad you were saying that your dad is still a little concerned.
Yeah,
So you don't think you'll be able to play?
probably not.
Okay. Let me see. Is anybody else think they won't be able to play?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know either.
Who's that? Geronimo?
It's GQ.
What?
It's GQ.
Was that Geronimo who said that?
No.
Me.
Nah, that wasn't me.
Okay. So I heard Josh, Seattle. Was there somebody else who wasn't sure?
It was GQ.
Oh, it was GQ. Okay.
It was me.
I couldn't tell. All right. So I have to reach out to a couple other people. I know Roger said they'll be available. Brent, I think your dad said you okay. Jacob, I got a message from your dad saying you okay. John, I got a message from your mom saying okay. Derek, got a message from your dad saying you okay. So and that's the thing. I figure we had Arenzi's dad say he'll be available. I can't even think of all the rest of the people on the team. But so this week coming up, I'll confirm all of that and I'll make sure we have enough players. But I figure, we probably only have maybe, between 7 and 10. It won't be the whole crew like we had during game times, right? It'll be something smaller than that. Some people haven't even really been a part of it since we ended, so we're not forcing anybody to be involved in this. All right,
Yes, coach.
y'all good?
It's coach.
Yes,
Yes.
coach.
I gotta check in with what's next. All right, so let me see what else. Anything else y'all got going on?
No, coach. I've really been chilling.
Just video games all day and then workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. When do you work out, Jacob, with your trainer?
Workout Monday to Thursday, and then
Monday
to
through
Friday,
Thursday?
Monday to Friday, and then stop for the weekends. And then same
You work
thing,
out every day.
pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. With your other trainer, you work out every day with your other trainer?
I have 2 trainers.
Okay. So you work out.
One's like specifically dribbling, one's like shooting. Mostly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. How about you, John? What you doing?
I'm waiting on my trainers because like they got a bunch of people in line.
Okay.
I have like 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I like went to this doctor's appointment and they somehow got me in touch with like I forgot it was somebody in the NFL. I got their trainer,
Mm-hmm.
train with them.
Yeah.
So I got like 2 trainers. I'm waiting.
Nice. That's good. I like the idea of doing more, right? More is always better. I mean, obviously, during this time of year, when you go back to school, though, it's a little different because you don't want to get into overtraining, right? So around like August, you want to kind of ramp down a little bit. And typically, like our season and trials and all that stuff usually kick off around November, so October, November. So, you want to ramp up, right? Get really tip-top shape, and then cut back, like I said, around August into September, so you'll be ready. You don't want to overtrain. You don't want to overdo it. But right now, it's perfect time for you to get it in. But Josh, what you doing? You just, I know you told me you get shots up every day, and I know you lifting
I
too,
do
right?
like-
Are you lifting?
Nah, we're just doing like calisthenics, and then
Okay.
on the days that I don't do like workouts with you,
Mhm.
usually do these football workouts like
Okay.
3 hours.
Do what?
I do these football workouts for like 3 hours in the mornings.
Dang, that's a long time. 3
It's
hours, that's a
like-
long workout, bro.
It's just like footwork and like
Okay.
just a lot of leg stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's funny that you mentioned because like after this call, I'm gonna do a leg workout. I need to get one. Me and Justin. So Justin, so we run every other day. We run 1.5 miles, and so we're probably gonna pick that up, increase the amount of time because we're at a point now where we're doing 1.5 miles in like 14 minutes. So that's pretty fast. It's like 9 minutes for the first mile, and then 5 minutes for the second mile, for the half mile. So we're going pretty quick. But and then he has his lifting and stuff that we do, and on top of the Tuesday and Thursday workouts. So we're getting in. What you doing, GQ? I haven't seen you at the workouts.
I have been busy, really.
You've been busy. You working? You got a job?
I'm looking for a job.
You learning for your job? Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I mean that brings up another point. Just make sure you guys, I know y'all love video games and most of y'all are addicted to them. Please take time to read. Don't let everything that you work so hard for throughout the school year just go down the drain. Because I think it's some crazy stat where you lose like 40 or 50% of what you learn throughout the school year over your summertime. So please read, Try to read on a regular basis, a couple times a week if you can. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I did that over my summer. I did not, but I know from experience how much it helps. Once I got to college and like, yeah, man, I need to read because you forget stuff. All right, and it's just helping you keeping your. It's just like now, like if you haven't shot a ball in 2 months, it's gonna feel a little rusty. Same thing. If you haven't read in 2 months, you're gonna be like, you're gonna struggle a little bit. You're gonna be rusty. It's no doubt you can't get back in the rhythm, but why have to go through that? Just be ready when school starts. Does that make sense?
I've been reading.
You've been reading?
I got to do 50 pages a day.
Yes. That's awesome. What are you reading?
I'm reading a book called Divergent right now.
Oh, the movie Divergent. Is that Divergent?
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a movie about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some of y'all like Brent, do you have summer reading assignments already?
Yeah,
So what you reading?
I haven't started reading the book yet, but
What are they?
I don't know yet. They sent us the email. We just
Okay.
haven't got the stuff yet.
Yeah, so most of y'all should have summer reading assignments already. They should have put those out, right? So Justin got the Hobbit and then something, Mango something or the other. And
I
now
read The Hate You Give.
huh?
I remember reading The Hate You Give, that book.
The Hate You Give. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, so I remember like The Hobbit is a classic. I wouldn't be surprised if you got to read that, Brent, The Hobbit. Like mostly everybody has read that book, right? At some point, either in high school or in college, you're gonna read it because it's like fantasy and all this stuff, and it got some, values driven things in it. So take it seriously, fellas. Take it seriously. Be serious about your improving on the athletics, and be serious about improving on your academics, right? So the things that you do now is going to set you up for the future. Like, so middle school is what it is, but middle school is over. Now you guys are about to go into high school, and that sets the pace and sets your record for what you're going to be doing in college. So please take it seriously. Start now. Don't wait. All right?
So,
That's Coach.
Anything else? Anybody got anything else? Geronimo, where you been, man?
I've been working out 4 times a week. I got a basketball trainer and a weightlifter.
Yeah, I think your mom did say you was working with a trainer. So you do what, 4 times a week?
Yeah.
So what you do as far as weights? What do? You do it outside too?
No, it's inside. It's like somewhere in Gambrills, like near the Gold's Gym.
Oh, near the Gold Gym. Okay. Yeah, I work out there.
I do that. What'd you say?
I said just be careful.
All right.
Most of y'all when y'all get to high school, y'all gonna have lifting and stuff. And I used to hate lifting. Because I hated, and it wasn't that I hated lifting. I just hated the bench press. I couldn't stand it. Because I've like, in high school, I was like, man, why do we need to do this? Like, you don't play basketball on your back. You don't play football on your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we need to do this? But it's important because you use a lot of muscles, right? You use a lot of muscles to do bench pressing. I used to like squats, squat with the squat rack. I used to love doing those, but I hated bench pressing. And then the other reason why I hated it because everybody especially the seniors when I was like my freshman and sophomore year in high school, they always wanted to compete who could bench more. And I was like, I don't even like this, but y'all want to compete. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I say be careful is because you can get into that, right? Where you people like, oh, you don't bench enough and you weak. Like, nah, it's not that I'm weak. I don't like this stuff. So don't get baited into lifting more than you actually can. Okay. But like Geronimo, I feel like you should be all right. If you've been lifting, like Justin's been lifting for a little bit, he kind of knows what he can do and what he can't do. So don't be fooled or suckered into like doing something because you can hurt yourself and like do permanent damage. All right. Y'all good?
Yes, coach.
All right, man. Well, keep your ears open. I'll see y'all on workouts on Tuesday and Thursday, but keep your ears open about the other stuff. All right?
All
All
right.
right, coach.
All right, y'all. Be safe. Have a great weekend.
You too.
You
Thanks,
too.
coach.